Thank you. Welcome to Geek News, episode 22. Um, my name is Jay, joined by Max, Philip, Mike, and Dan. Today we got a bunch of news topics that we're going to discuss with you. Some concerning Joss Whedon, some concerning Disney, George Lucas, the new Superman movie, Deadpool, the new Heroes reboot. So, I don't think there's any announcements right now, so we'll get right into it with the Fantastic Four trailer. I watched it from my phone this morning and was very underwhelmed, so then I decided to watch it before we started this cast, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hold on one second, I'm having a technical difficulty right here. I forgot I had the countdown going on my laptop, and it just popped up. Anyway, I watched it again on the screen. It looks better than I thought it was going to. You know, you've heard so many bad things about it lately that you don't expect much. And when you see something like it was, I thought it was pretty good. I really liked the final image of the four of them looking. I thought that was cool. Like they're getting ready to go in, kind of like it's almost like an Avengers still, just the way it was set up with the four of them. Their backs are turned, facing this threat of some sort that we don't know fully. We don't get much Doom in this trailer, so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where that goes because that's, I guess, where most of the concern lies. Um, Dan, what are your thoughts on the Fantastic Four trailer?
I mean, the trailer looked shiny. It looked like, you know, just what you'd expect, but after the last two movies, I'm not really expecting much out of this one. Um, I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. I like people on fire. That's a plus. And that's about
Did
it.
you just say you light people on fire? Am I talking?
No. I said I liked people on fire. I don't actually light them on fire.
Just checking. Just checking.
Okay.
I like to light people on fire too. Philip, your thoughts on the Fantastic Four trailer?
Um, so I'll be honest, it surprised me, but I mean, I guess it makes sense because they're supposed to be going into space, but it just didn't give me that Fantastic Four vibe initially. It felt very science fiction, which could be interesting. I mean, I am probably a little bit more optimistic than Dan when I heard the cast announcement and I heard the talk of all the little pieces they're bringing in, the people who are writing the story, all of that. And it sounded really interesting. But this trailer has left me, I wouldn't say uninterested, but confused. I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to go with the movie. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully there's another trailer that kind of piques my interest some more. I'm probably interested enough to go and watch it, but not necessarily spend $15 to go watch it.
Philip, isn't the Fantastic Four vibe currently shitty movies? So, I
Yes.
mean, this it doesn't look like a shitty movie per
No.
se from this short trailer, so I could
It
see.
looks like an interesting, maybe B-movie sci-fi. Maybe it'll improve. We'll see.
Max, your thoughts?
The Fantastic Four is absolutely science fiction. It's kind of their whole shtick. Reed Richards is one of the greatest scientific minds on the planet, so that it feels more, like a science fiction. I was actually listening to somebody else talk about it, and there's like it seems more like a horror kind of feel to it. It's really dark, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I'm super down. The trailer kind of left me feeling lukewarm, but that's just because I didn't see a lot of the thing. There's no Doctor Doom. There's all these things that I'm just like, well, they should have showed that. It was a trailer, and then I'm just like, well, now they really just got me wanting to see the movie. So it actually did everything it was supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, I like the whole cast. I like Miles Teller. I like Kate Mara. Michael B. Jordan is one of my favorite actors all the way back from when he was a kid on The Wire. And what's the other guy's name? Jamie Bell. Is that the last guy? Yeah, Jamie Bell. I like him in that show Turn. So I'm excited for it. The trailer is pulling a lot of things from the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which is actually my favorite iteration of the Fantastic Four. So yeah, no, it looks good. I'm really have the more I sit on it and the more I think about it, the happier I am with the trailer and the more excited I am for the movie. I mean, even though it is brought to us by the same people who brought us X-Men Days of Future Past, which is, as we all know, one of the crappiest X-Men movies of all time. Uh, no, I'm not gonna hold that against them. I'm gonna go in here with fresh mind and see what's up. So I'm excited for it. I think the trailer is a good one just because it leaves you with more questions than answers.
Max's opinions of Days of Future Past genetics extend to all of those here at Geek News.
Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do.
You know what's going to be fun? We are going to post a review to that movie sooner than later because Max does have some good reasons for disliking that movie.
I have all of the good reasons for disliking that movie.
Anyway, moving on. Zachary Quinto has turned down any chance of coming back to Heroes, and I am happy for that because, in my opinion, the writers did not know what to do with that character. He was a great. The first season of Heroes is one of my favorite seasons of television of all time, and then it steadily declined until, I mean, the fourth season they started to get slightly better, but it was too little, too late. But not bringing back original cast members or original cast members not coming back gives me hope that this might actually be somewhat entertaining. I forgot to mention one thing. From Mike's reaction to the Fantastic Four trailer, go to youtube.com/Mike McGee It should be up later this evening.
He's too cool to post it on Geek News.
It'll be there soon. It'll be there soon. Thanks for the product placement.
Of course, buddy. But yeah, he's one of my favorite more recent actors. I really like his role as Spock. I loved him on American Horror Story, both the first and second season, especially the second season. And, he wasn't the problem with Heroes. He just didn't have the right writing to back him up. But the first season, he was pretty awesome. Philip, I know you were big into Heroes, and you had a huge falling out with it after the second season. Like, really bad. Like, I've never seen somebody hate a show as much as you did. So your thoughts on...
I need to talk to Max, but yeah, so for me, I'm more optimistic. That means that, well, not necessarily, I have to be honest here. He turned it down. That doesn't necessarily mean the show's writers actually said, oh, we don't need this character. So I'm hoping that him saying no makes them realize that let's actually start over. Let's not bring anybody back other than the horn-rimmed glasses guy, which I can't remember his character's name at this point.
It was the man with the horn-rimmed glasses. That's what everybody called him.
Well, that's what he called him, but they actually did have a name. Eventually,
Some
much
people
later.
called him Daddy.
Oh, was that you, Jason? You called him Daddy? But so overall, what I'm hoping is that they just use him, maybe twist the timeline, or maybe say it's much earlier or much later, and find us new heroes with a new story. Because I really don't want them going back, because I don't think they can save it. I mean, they had so much cool stuff in that first season, and then they just, the writer's strike just made them lose it all. They lost their minds, blew it all up, and as a result, I quit. Which Jason finally convinced me to rewatch, and he said season 4 gets better. I stuck through 3, and then 4 did get a little bit better. But for the most part, I'm optimistic. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Dan, were you a Heroes guy at all?
I watched the first 2 seasons and tried 3 and just got maybe a quarter of the way in and just stopped watching it. But yeah, I'd be with Philip there. If they're gonna try to reboot it at all, don't try to save that. Just try something new. Get all new actors and hopefully some better writers.
Apparently, they must have ran out of X-Men comic books to copy. Dan, did your mic go out?
Oh, did it? I don't know.
No, you're back.
Am I still
I
here?
didn't know.
Yay.
Yeah. But no, Philip, Jack Coleman is coming back as horn-rimmed glasses guy.
No, I saw that, and I'm okay with that, as long as they use him in that way and they don't try and tie him back into the other movies. They don't try, or other movies, the other seasons, and try to tie it all in, because I think it's gonna. I mean, X-Men was proof that you can't fix a timeline.
Thank you.
Mike.
Yeah, I like Zachary Quinto a lot too, and honestly, yeah, I liked him in the first season as Siler, and yeah, you're absolutely right. They didn't know what to do with him. I think around the time season 3 came out, they were trying to make him more of a hero because Star Trek was coming out, and they wanted to say, hey, this guy can play heroic too, or can play a good guy. So that felt a little too coincidental for me. Honestly, yeah, I stopped caring about heroes after season 1. So if they're gonna do a solid reboot of it, fine. That'd be fine by me, as long as they kind of stick to the premise a little bit more and not try to, I don't know, they were not try to expand outwards so much like they tried to with all the other seasons. And don't bring back Hero. He annoyed the crap out of me.
Nah, man, you got to keep the little Japanese guy. He's the only thing that ties it all together.
He's like the only one I liked in season 2, so.
His name was Hero.
Whatever.
You see, the show is actually about him.
Multiples of him.
Yes. Hey, he travels through time. That can happen. Bam.
See, this is fun.
Should I? Heroes after the first season was terrible to me. I really thought they had a great concept, and of course, I'm super down to see superheroes on television. But yeah, they lost it. They really just let it go. There's too much. I mean, I really liked a lot of aspects of the show that the artists, had to take drugs to see the future. So, it's like, do I do it? Do I not do it? And like, that was really cool, I thought. And then they had a lot of great concepts. I really liked the Siler villain. I thought that was super cool. And then, they tried to make him a hero, just ruin the whole thing. And, why can't we get a Darth Vader, or something? Like, you don't feel any sympathy for this person. You just, you either fear them or, at least respect them. And I thought they just screwed the pooch on that. It was just a terrible, terrible happening. Of course, it's Hollywood, so they're bound to ruin everything. But yeah, they really dropped the ball. So this reboot, I'm not even sure I can get excited for. That Zachary Quinto is smart enough to stay away from it. I mean, good on him. If they do a reboot, I would like to see them just jump it 45 years in the future, and you see the after effects of okay, that show ended. Maybe the guy with the horn rim glass, he's super old and dying, and he's trying to pass on his shield he's basically the runner of Shield. This is basically how it goes down. But yeah, I mean, I'll be down to watch that. But they're gonna have to do something crazy and out there and really comic booky for me to get back on board.
Awesome. Yeah. So for season 2 of Heroes, I didn't think it wasn't good, but it's not what made me stop watching it. It was season 3 when they'd kill a character, then they'd bring that character back, or that character had a twin that wasn't even related to them, like they did with Ali Larter's character, or Siler's good, Siler's bad, Siler's good, Siler's bad, Siler's good, Siler's bad, Siler's good, Siler's bad. Wait, he's good again. He's bad.
No, he's bad.
That was one of the most obnoxious things. If they wanted to switch him to being good, it wouldn't have bothered me so much. It's just the show just was not consistent. They'd kill a character, but they couldn't stick to it. What's that, Mike?
Just checking, did the eclipse actually have to do with anything?
No.
Because they always emphasize the eclipse in the title sequence, and stuff would happen and there'd be an eclipse. Did they ever explain what exactly the eclipse was all about?
There was an eclipse when everybody started popping powers. I remember that, but as far as the significance, in later episodes, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no actual scientific explanation for why that mattered.
George Takei was the only character that stayed dead on that show. Moving on to Deadpool. So the new Deadpool movie, it was Ryan Reynolds came out today and told fans to be very excited because they are going low budget for this. And low budget means that the director and the writer and him and the people that have been pushing this for so long get the freedom. Like if it was a high budget movie, then the studios would have their say and we'd get something like Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3. So I'm excited about this. I'm glad that Ryan Reynolds is in charge. Ryan Reynolds also said that if he had known that this would have given him a job, he would have released the test footage 3 years ago, because that's how long I guess it's been sitting around. But Mr. Deadpool, Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, go low budget. It'd be more fun that way because you get more creative. You're not relying so much on CGI that looks half completed or like those Roger Rabbit cartoon claws Wolverine had in X-Men Origins. Yeah, I think going low budget with it is a good way to go. I just want him to break the fourth wall. I want him to address the audience. You know, he's fully aware of, you know, the fictional world he's in. That's the character. And yeah, just give me some nasty, gory Deadpool action in the actual costume with the quips, with the fourth wall breaking. And if you can do it on a low budget, that's even great.
Awesome. Dan, your thoughts?
I'm definitely cool with it being low budget. My only thing is I'm not sure that Ryan Reynolds can pull it off. It's like the bad part about going low budget is that you also get the guy that played Green Lantern. I don't know. It's like the old '80s Punisher was one of my favorites, and that was definitely low budget. Say what you will, Max. I know that comment's going to happen.
Lundgren, I freaking love that movie.
The movie was awesome. But yeah, I mean, as long as they stay true to the Deadpool character, I think it'll be cool.
All right, Max, I heard you defending Ryan Reynolds here in the room, so I'm going to let you go.
Oh, well, I'm just saying you can't hold Green Lantern against him. It was a huge budget movie. I mean, that was just a bad movie all around. That wasn't his fault, really. I'm excited to kind of see a Van Wilder in superhero like movie. I don't know who I was talking to or if I mentioned it on the podcast, but I was like, it'd be really funny if you kind of had the third person view, sort of like a video game for a lot of the movie, and Deadpool is talking to the audience like it's a video game, and then he comes to find out it's a movie at the end and gets pissed off because he was, misled this whole time. But, so yeah, no, it'd be great. He has to break the fourth wall. I hope they break into full cartoons at some points in time. It should be a lot of wacky, zany fun, and, that low budget, I'm so glad because some of my favorite superhero movies are low-budget Blade, the first one, one of the greater superhero movies of all time, and lowest budget. Once you start throwing money at it, you get things like X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, Spider-Man's 1, 2, and 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. You get those movies when you get the budget. So I'm happy to see that there's like, okay, well, we'll give you a little bit of money and you guys can do whatever you want. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm actually more pleased with that than to hear that they're making a big hoopla about it.
Philip?
So I actually, because that's where I agree with you, Max. Like, I really think Ryan Reynolds was meant to play this character. I don't think he was ever meant to play Green Lantern, ever in a million years. I also think the movie itself didn't lend itself. I mean, there was a lot of problems with that movie, but side note.
Parallax being a gigantic gas cloud.
Writing, everything. We can go on for hours. I mean, the idea of his suit being, we're not going to go there. That was just weird and not even interesting. But okay.
I smell a Geek News review.
Oh my.
One question, Philip. Do you feel, or actually I'll pose this to everybody and we can answer in turn. Do you feel like they should have killed that school bus full of children in the Green Lantern movie? Because I do.
Again, Max's views and opinions are not necessarily those of Geek News.
I'm asking everyone else. I'm not saying... I'm asking. I felt like if the kids would have got it, the movie would have been real. That would have been it.
I don't think so. I don't think that was the redeeming quality there, Max.
I'm actually going to go with Max on that one
You're-
and say yes.
It would have been the redeeming quality if they would have done it.
This
For
is
cult
fun.
classic, cult status, you mean? But yeah, overall, back to the Deadpool. So the idea that it's low budget, I think, is going to be awesome because I think they'll be able to take all the risk that everyone has been talking about. And as a result, I think it'll be much more interesting. And I think Ryan Reynolds will have no problem playing up the character that is Deadpool. And that's why I actually am excited for him. And the fact that it's low budget means basically what Max was pointing to, just in his not so indirect way, of basically that it is you get the producers, you get the directors, and you get the basically heads of the studios out of it. Because now they don't care. Oh well, whatever. If this movie's not going to make us any money, we'll make maybe 80,000 or whatever. We'll just say some small number, and they're like, oh, whatever. We don't care. Whatever they do is fine by us. Goes out. They probably won't market it much, is my suspicion. They'll probably go low budget all the way, and it'll be a ton of fun, and I think it'll be exciting to watch.
I agree. In my opinion, the Ryan Reynolds at the beginning of Origins was the best part of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
There's actually no good part of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Anyway, moving on to Joss Whedon has recently said that he does not see himself returning to Avengers Infinity War. He just cannot see himself spending another 4 years. He said that the last year of his life, it felt like he was doing 3 TV shows at once. Writing, directing, producing. He's like, I can't, I'm done. But he didn't say that he wouldn't return as the writer. He said he would like to stay on at Marvel to some capacity because he thinks that they're great people. And that's all I really want from Joss Whedon. I like his writing. So if he sticks around and writes it, and if the rumor is true that they're getting the directors of Cap 2 to direct the new one, then that's a match made in heaven, in my opinion, and I can't wait to see what they do. Max, I'm going to go to you first this time. What are your thoughts?
Okay. I don't know. I mean, Joss Whedon, whatever you want to do, man, I appreciate you. So if you need a break, you take a break. I'm not gonna cry about him, him leaving, because the guy's just done so much good work. I can't feel bad about it. So yeah, and if he's writing, definitely that's so super awesome, because I love his writing, I love his work. Astonishing X-Men, again, one of my favorite, is definitely my favorite comic book run of X-Men. Joss Whedon was 100% in charge of that. So and that was just his writing. I'm happy for him. Take your break, man. You earned it. And we'll just see how it goes. I mean, it would be good to have him on as director, but yeah, I mean, I understand that the pressures will get to you, especially when dealing with all of us superhero fans. So, and I mean, Joss Whedon's got such a huge following anyway that it could definitely, I can understand how it'd be a lot for somebody to take on, or to keep doing. But yeah, no, I mean, we had a great Avengers movie. We're gonna have a great second Avengers movie, I'm sure of it. So I mean, let's just enjoy what we got, and move on from there.
Philip?
Yeah, so I mean, I think he definitely deserves the break, and like you said, Jason, I'm not surprised, because I mean, that's a lot, like Max was saying too. That's a heavy load to carry. I mean, not only the fans, but all the pressure he has to be facing from the studios and the Marvel heads and everybody, of going, this has to be just right, because this is our flagship, the Avengers. And so what I'm excited for is the fact that he didn't say he didn't want to be involved, but he said he still wanted to be around. He wanted to offer. He wanted to help. And I think that's what will be most beneficial to all of us and most interesting, because I think he can go and offer advice for other movies. For the person who's writing any movie, they can come up and go, hey, how about this? Bounce ideas off of him, and that'll kind of help it maintain that flow. And so that's why I'm excited. And honestly, I'm also excited because it'll give him a chance to do what he wants, as well as Marvel to kind of go in other areas for the future. So,
Dan, you're a big Joss Whedon fan.
The one thing I'd like to really have him do is just like edit their final script before they start shooting. That's that's what he's really, really good at is just adding in dialogue. As far as anything else, yeah, I mean, he needs a break. That's all I got for that one.
Mike?
Yeah, definitely. Since he did so much to kind of bring the Avengers to the forefront and everything, and really propel this universe forward, I think he's more than earned, kind of a break away and so forth. Definitely, if he's coming back for the writing purposes, that'd be great. But it is a lot, and it is a big commitment because it's gonna be 2 movies now. It's gonna be a long haul for filming and producing and what have you. So yeah, kudos to him for sticking with it thus far. I hope this latest one is, just as good. And yeah, best of luck to you, Joss Whedon. I'm just curious. Like now, just thinking about who could be a good successor to that. Like who do we want to see direct the final installment, possibly of the Avengers or Phase 3 at least?
Michael Bay.
George Lucas.
Good God.
Oh my.
He'll bring that strange magic quality to the Avengers.
Oh, I would definitely kill myself if George Lucas was set up to direct any movie ever again.
They would all talk like Wookiees for like half an hour.
No, they wouldn't. There would be Ewoks and friggin' Gungans running around, and then there'd just be spaceships landing all over the place.
So every year it's a tradition of mine. I watch all of the panels from Comic-Con, and I always look forward to Joss Whedon's panel. And his panel last year, he couldn't even make it to San Diego, so he had Nathan Fillion, he had the guy who played Wash, and Alan Tudyk, and they had Seth Green and the girl from S.H.I.E.L.D., and he eventually popped on screen, and he just looked so tired, like completely drained. Apparently, they were flying him in at 2 or 3 a.m. to rewrite Thor while the movie was filming. So, like, that's how involved he's been with Marvel. Like, they're helicoptering Joss Whedon in to rewrite your script halfway through your movie. And, Joss Whedon is most known for his original content and just all the stuff that he brings, and the fact that he won't be involved with the Avengers kind of excites me because I'd like to see him maybe revisit Firefly or maybe create another universe that we haven't seen yet that could be a lot of fun because the guy's imagination is amazing. So I just hope that something good comes out of it because it's Joss Whedon and we know it's going to.
Jason, I'm sorry. I know you're new to the Firefly bandwagon, but it's dead. It's done. No, there's no more Firefly. I know you just got it. I know you just watched the series for the first time like a week ago. Jerk. But I don't think they could even pull it together. But maybe for another movie. They might get another movie out of it. But then Alan Tudyk's dead. So, I mean, Wash is one of my favorite
Half
characters.
the cast is dead,
now.
so yeah.
So, yeah. But,
Sorry,
no, I mean,
spoilers on that one.
Joss Whedon.
Well, no, half the cast is dead, but the other
Good job.
half is having wild sex with each other, so there'll be new cast members.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
We'll just have like minis of the other ones.
Yeah, Zoe could have had a kid. Who knows?
I'm about to read the comic book continuation written by Joss Whedon and his brother, so I'll let you know. Anyway, Disney is eyeing Chris Pratt for the role of Indiana Jones in the Indiana Jones reboot. A lot of people were wondering what Indiana Jones and this Lucas deal had anything to do with. Star Wars kind of overshadowed it, but yeah, Disney has Indiana Jones also. And I was having this conversation with somebody, I don't know if it was Philip or Max or maybe on the cast, where we were debating who should play Indiana Jones, and no names really came to mind. I know people were throwing Bradley Cooper for a while, and I'm like, I don't know. And then today I hear Chris Pratt, and that works, right? I mean, Dan, what do you think? Chris Pratt, Indiana Jones.
I'd go with it. I mean, without seeing any test footage, it sounds okay.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm all for Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones. I was so looking forward to Shia LaBeouf as Indiana Jones. But No, I have this wild and crazy theory about it too that I'll actually talk in another video about on my channel, McGTV. But it has to do with like franchises you could tie into Marvel. There has been an Indiana Jones reference in a Marvel movie. First Avenger. He said the Red Skull says, "While the Fuhrer looks for trinkets in the desert,
Oh,
who
geez.
else?" So yeah, maybe have Chris Pratt show up in like a flashback to Captain America. Maybe Captain America went to the desert or something and helped him on some missions before he got frozen. Just yeah, and then maybe tie in Indiana Jones to Star-Lord. Indiana Jones is maybe the granddaddy of Star-Lord. That's why they look alike.
But Gungans in the Avengers was
Now-
a bad idea.
The first Indiana Jones movie was made in when was this? Go back.
80.
81. Harrison Ford was born in 1942. So the only thing that I don't like is that Chris Pratt is very, very young. So it's going to be a young Indiana Jones story, and I'm not exactly for that. Because it takes a long time for him to be in. He's an archaeologist. He's a professor. He's all these things. It takes a long, long time to get to, and I kind of don't want to hear about like Indiana Jones Year One. I'm not really interested in it, because I'm pretty sure you can just kind of pick out the beats of that plot right now. So Chris Pratt's kind of young. I like him as an actor, so it's not going to be too terrible. I don't think it'll be that bad. But I kind of would like to see a Nathan Fillion Indiana Jones. I think that would be pretty cool. He's a little older, and he's still kind of got that same wisecrackiness, and I think he could do a cantankerous old man Indiana Jones. I mean, not even really that old, but I would have liked that they gave him a little more pedigree, if you will.
Philip?
I can see your point, Max. As far as that goes, I mean, I'm still interested in Pratt. I think he can pull it off, and I think, if you have somebody in their mid-30s, I think you can kind of pull that off. I mean, mid to late 30s is where I would say that. Fillion, would get that more heir apparent, like the older, more seasoned veteran. But I mean, maybe they'll do a different version of the story, and they'll not necessarily reboot the franchise, but just choose to tell a different story. So that's what I'm kind of excited to see. Other than that, I mean, I think he could be a very interesting character. I mean, kind of what we saw him play as Star-Lord kind of proved that he does have the ability to pull off the action piece as well as the comedic piece, and so I think that would be interesting.
I think it's funny that he made a movie similar to Star Wars, and now he's being tasked to do Indiana Jones possibly. It's the exact same story as Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So I like that irony. Anyway, George Lucas has recently stated that Disney scrapped all the ideas he sold them when he sold them Star Wars for the new trilogy. I wonder if they even kept the characters the same, because I guess in his trilogy it was going to focus on the younger guys all the way through, and the new one is going to focus on the older guys for the first one, and then transition into the younger guys. He says he's looking forward to watching Star Wars in the theater, but after watching the interview he did for this, he seems kind of bitter. I don't know if anybody else saw it and can say, but he doesn't seem super happy that his baby is in somebody else's hands, even though he should have 4 billion reasons to be happy, right? I'm going to go to Max on this because he is our Star Wars nut, and then Philip.
I think this whole thing can be summed up in 3 words. Fuck George Lucas. That's it. All of your ideas were most likely stupid, and all of your writing was definitely bad. So shut up, enjoy your billions of dollars, and go away. I'm sorry. No one wants you around anymore. You're like Grandpa Simpson. We're gonna put you in the home. You stay there. That's all I got to say about it. Fuck George Lucas.
Philip.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Max. But like, I mean, I think you're probably right, Jason. I haven't seen it, any of the interview or the video. I think he's probably a bit upset. He's maybe not bitter, but just maybe it's sad because he knows he's not going to have any effect on that series anymore, and it's not the same effect that he used to have. And that's what I suspect it is. Because otherwise, I mean, it's over, it's done with. He got paid for it. Create something new if you really have that many ideas. That's what I would say.
Or don't. Or just go away.
Come on, man. Original ideas work for him. He just can't direct.
Mike.
I haven't seen the interview either, but from what I can gather about his kind of post-prequel stuff is that maybe he was kind of a little let down that people met his new series of Star Wars films with such vitriol and hate and so forth. And to the point where he was just like, you know what? I'm going to milk this a little bit more for the expanded universe stuff. And then when the Disney offer came around, he's like, okay, fine, let's just give it away. It's like he got burnt out. But then he saw the resurgence of interest in Star Wars again. That maybe it is a bit of sour grapes. So he's like, oh, they get interested when I'm no longer involved. So, okay, fine, whatever. But you know what? I mean, yeah. He brought a great mythos to our pop culture and to our geek culture. And we're appreciative of that. You know, now your creative baby's in the hands of another person, so I'd say just enjoy the money, George. Try to maybe even go back to just doing some like down-to-earth filmmaking, not strange magic type stuff, but like I liked American Graffiti. I really liked American Graffiti. I really would be interested to see him try to take on his student film again, the THX 1183. Now that he has kind of the money to kind of back up his own productions. But yeah, it's like maybe try your hand at something else. Because he started out as an experimental type of filmmaker. And then he kind of got pigeonholed into the sappy stuff we saw in the prequels. So, come on, dude. Maybe don't go away completely, but change it up a bit that you can become interesting again.
Dan?
I'm not gonna lie. Sad, bitter George Lucas kind of makes me smile. But yeah, I don't really care how he feels. I mean, he screwed up the prequels. I mean, you had so much stuff he could have done, and he ended up just making that. But as Mike said, I wouldn't mind him going back and, you know, not putting stuff into THX 1138, but trying to redo something that he had when he was younger that he lost.
No, man. No,
I'm not saying special edition type stuff of THX or
No,
anything. I'm just saying return to that style. Like it was Maverick type filmmaking, yeah.
Yeah, like make something like that. It doesn't have to be Star Wars. I mean, well, it's not going to be Star Wars.
If George Lucas,
but
if George Lucas wants to do whatever project with whatever, that's fine by me because I don't have to watch any of that crap. If he makes a Star Wars film, I have to watch it. And then I
got your money already.
Pissed off the whole time. Yeah, exactly. I keep on saying it, and now finally they put it in some responsible hands, and he's like the image of George Lucas pissed off and crying, sitting on his stack of money, is like the greatest thing for me. It helps me, like I go to sleep happy and not thinking about George Lucas just crying these tears of angry bitterness and just on top of all this money. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Anything else, Dan?
no, that's about it.
I was online and I saw that somebody released storyboards from Episode 3, and originally when Padme and Obi-Wan go to confront Anakin after he slaughtered all the Jedi children, she was supposed to stab him, and then he was going to throw her against a wall, and then that's what prompted the Obi-Wan Anakin fight. That would have made it a lot better because it would have made her dying at the end make frickin' sense. Anyway, if you want to see our review on that, go back to Episode 3, our Episode 3 review. So, couple more things. We're going to go through these really quick. There's a rumor for the new Batman v Superman movie. that Michael Shannon's General Zod is actually going to be Doomsday in the new movie. I like Michael Shannon as an actor a whole lot, and if they find a way to bring him back, I'm okay with that. But I am afraid of this movie getting overcrowded slightly. So, I mean, that's really my only concern. I don't know why Doomsday needs to be in the first DC Universe movie or second DC Universe movie, but apparently they think so. So, Mike, your thoughts?
Show me a finished frame for me to care.
Fantastic. Philip, anything? Max?
I got stuff. No, to see Doomsday in the Batman v Superman movie as the kind of villain, it kind of disappoints me. Um, I would like to see Doomsday later, and I do like that Michael Shannon would be Doomsday. I like that they carried his body off, Kryptonian science, yada yada yada. He becomes Doomsday. That's fine by me. But yeah, I really thought that this movie would be Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor. I really like the idea of that. But whatever. Hopefully, it's a good movie. I'm still trusting in these guys. I really like Man of Steel. I like that Superman killed General Zod in the end. I thought that was great. However they play it hopefully it's good. I'm gonna throw myself put my trust in it because, like I keep on saying, they already got my money anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, it may be a bit much for the first movie, Jason. I agree, but we'll see how they do it, and maybe it'll be like a light touch, just kind of a teaser, like the hand popping out of the grave sort of deal, just to signify that something's going on.
Dan, anything?
My hype for this movie is going down and down the more I hear about it. Can't Doomsday have his own movie? Please? Like, you could actually do, like, the death and rebirth of Superman instead of doing, the super abridged version.
That they were going to do that, and it starred Nicolas Cage in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, I would almost take that over what we're getting now.
Okay, that, sir, is blasphemy.
I don't care, Max. come on, like crazy face-off Nicolas Cage as Superman. I would go see that.
Crazy Wicker Man Nicolas Cage in a bear suit.
The beast!
It was pre-financial trouble, Nicolas Cage, so it probably could have been good.
I would never call Nicolas Cage good. I would just say that I liked his weird, crazy acting
Did you
time.
see Con Air?
Yes.
Anyway,
Did you see the same movie I did?
yeah, I like Con Air too.
No, apparently my drugs were a lot better than yours.
I don't know.
Fox is planning X-Men television series, but apparently they need Marvel's blessing first. I don't want to see an X-Men television series unless they get to use all of the characters. I don't want to watch a show that centers around Morph for 45 minutes, or the guy who cleans Cyclops' glasses, or the student who gets an F and is in detention for 45 minutes because they can't show any of the good people. But an X-Men TV show, sure. I mean, if heroes can exist, why can't this? Mike, you look like you have something to say.
No, I mean, I was about to say, if it's a reboot of the Mutant X series, count me in. That was gold. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I had a feeling like their contracts with like the X characters only extends to film rights, so yeah, that would be kind of a trick to get a X-Men TV series rolling under their banner. But whatever may be, may be. But like you said, I'd rather follow the characters that are familiar than a bunch of like you said, just random students.
I can see Marvel trading them. Yeah, you can use these mutants, but we get this one, and this one back. Max?
I mean, mean, Sony's already shopping Spider-Man out to Marvel. I mean, why doesn't Fox shop the X-Men TV show out to Marvel? Like, hey, you guys, we go in, split costs. You guys write it. You guys make it up. Do all the things, and we'll just have the show will be on. Everyone gets money. Everyone's happy. Um, yeah, if they do it right, I'd be super excited to see an X-Men show. But I want to see Nightcrawler and Colossus and and X-Men, not some crappy knockoff, not some new age, New Mutants crap. I just, yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. So, and put out a good product. I really like the way Marvel's going now. I mean, I even like Agents of Shield. So, I mean, give it to them. The Marvel's on top right now. They're doing the best work, and I feel like they will do the best work. They care the most because it's their creations. So, I mean, yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like they should work together. Why not? Marvel gets to create it, Fox gets the money, everybody's happy.
Dan?
Why do I get the feeling that we're going to end up getting, Wolverine, and the other X-Men series? Like but not the Wolverine you want. No. Wolverine versus some little Japanese dude in a giant metal suit. That'll be like the whole series.
You mean the Shredder?
I wish that was the Shredder.
Yeah, really. Like the old Shredder, not the new one. No.
No, it was the new one.
Not the white Shredder.
But I mean, I would really like to see a good series, like the old X-Men the animated series was good, but I have a feeling they're just gonna screw it up if they end up getting the rights anyway. So I'll be your pessimist for this evening.
Philip?
So, I don't know. I mean, we talked about this earlier. I'm still indifferent. We'll see whatever comes to be. I mean, to me, I think they're just going to end up having to use the name unless they can actually get some interesting characters. I mean, maybe they'll be able to magically include the young X-Men. I doubt it, though. I don't see them having the wherewithal to actually do it. And Max, I love the dream, but I think it's just that. I don't think Fox would ever negotiate like halfsies. Because I think they'd be too afraid if they negotiated halfsies. They'd be like, oh, wait a minute, Marvel just took it all. Crap.
No, I mean, look, now you can sit here and
the West
tell me
Coast Avengers.
the lawyers at Fox can't get an ironclad thing. You're going to sit here and tell me that? No, I refuse to believe that, sir. There's definitely a deal that can be worked out, though I do agree that it won't be.
Look what I learned how to do, guys. Isn't that awesome? I look like Pennywise, dancing clown. Anyway, this is the last news story I have for today. I just want to get through it because I put it in our description for today's episode. The Ghostbusters cast has been announced, and it consists of Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon. The last two are relatively unknown as they're new to SNL. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy recently appeared in Bridesmaids with each other. The Melissa McCarthy thing, we've all speculated and knew that was most likely going to happen for the longest time because Bill Murray was pushing it so hard. But, Mike, what do you think?
Oh, cool. Let's get unfunny cast members from unfunny Saturday Night Live. Sorry, here's the whole deal. I like Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig when they take dramatic turns. I tolerated it in Bridesmaids, but ever since Bridesmaids, it's been the same shtick. I like Kristen Wiig in what was that one with Ben Stiller? I can't remember the title of it. The one where he went on the world trip and so forth. But she was really good.
Schmitty or something.
Walter.
Oh yeah,
Schmitty.
Walter. Yeah, Walter Mitty. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That's what it was. I liked her in that, and Melissa McCarthy. She's had a couple of dramatic things I've seen. She was like the only saving grace of Hangover Part 3. I don't know anything really about the new people except that they're on unfunny Saturday Night Live. And it's been my whole kind of argument, I guess. It's just more of me just not caring. But also, like, why does this have to be Ghostbuster? Because the name will bring people into the seats. That's why. If it wasn't called Ghostbusters, it wouldn't do any business probably. But the fact that, like, they got it tied in, well, it's not even tied into Ghostbusters. It's just a straight reboot, fresh off the ground. Forget the previous installments ever happened. But what everyone keeps kind of missing the point on, I feel, is that Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver, that cast made Ghostbusters Ghostbusters. It wasn't the premise. The premise has been there before in other outlets, like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy in an old Disney cartoon ran a ghost-busting business. But, like, it was those characters and that cast and that chemistry between the cast that made that movie so essential in comedy and so forth. And to just kind of say, like, oh, well, the name's going to bring people into the seats. No, it's got... I'm just personally, like, would just call it anything else but Ghostbusters. Because, honestly, this premise has been done over and over before.
Max?
Where's my eye patch?
Working on it. They won't let me do it for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so I have to do it myself? That's crappy. I want an eye patch. All right. I'm disappointed that they're kind of rebooting it. You know, I would rather them continue it. Like, okay, the Ghostbusters happened. This is the next set of Ghostbusters. You know, there's a different set of Ghostbusters. I don't see why they have to discount the whole thing. You know, just for no reason, really. What do you got going on over there? Oh my goodness! I wish I could rock a beard like that. Okay, you're distracting me seriously. But no. As far as the cast goes, everybody knows I got a real Jones for Melissa McCarthy. So I mean, past that, I really don't even care.
Dan?
I stopped caring about this like a month and a half ago. Maybe they'll come out with a trailer and I'll be like, wow, that looks awesome, but I highly, highly doubt it. Don't care. They've ruined enough stuff from my childhood. It's just one more.
We'll see. I mean, again, I don't know if I care. I'm trying to decide. Because I mean, I guess the part of me was hoping that they would have a straight character in there, but it seems like they're going for straight comedian. So I don't really see. This is going to have to be a complete change of premise. Which, if it's a change of premise, why not change the name? But oh well.
Yep. I'm 50-50 agreeing. I'm gonna remove the effects now. That was fun. Yeah, I don't know. Like Mike said, Melissa McCarthy, in a more dramatic sense, has actually proven to be pretty well. So if they bring her in as the straight character, I'm slightly more intrigued. But they won't. It's the guy who directed Bridesmaid directing this film. He's bringing the cast from Bridesmaid into this film. So
it's going to be the same movie, except they got ghosts instead of weddings.
Maybe it's Bridesmaid 2, Ghostbusters.
Right. Yeah, she got married, and now they became Ghostbusters. It's beautiful. That's beautiful writing right there.
John Hamm is a ghost now.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got as far as news goes. Philip, anything?
So just Dying Light came out this week, which is a somewhat sequel to Dead Island franchise. But so far, I haven't really played the game. It's coming in either today or tomorrow. And so far from what I've read online, it's really interesting. It's mostly a repeat of Dead Island, so if you weren't into Dead Island, you're not going to really appreciate the game. But what they really said is the parkour, which is, I guess, a little bit more advanced than it was, if not even new. I didn't read up enough to know. And they said that's actually a really cool gameplay mechanic. It works really well so far. And then the nighttime is actually really interesting, but the only downside that I've read from the few people that have played it, they haven't played it very long. It's only been like a few hours. It's been that it's almost just turns into a stealth game. So what they're wondering is, does that change at any point? But otherwise, I can't really say a recommendation on it yet. I'll address a little bit after I've played it. And let you all know. But it's definitely a game I was looking forward to playing, especially because I like the night-day cycle and I like the parkour, and it seems interesting, but I'll let you all know.
Max, anything in comic books?
No, just again, Comic Book Club, February 15th. We're getting together. Still not sure exactly where, but make sure you read Civil War and Walking Dead Volume 1. Am I on? Okay, I'm on, right? Okay. I can't ever tell. But yeah, no, I don't think I have any more. I'm gonna review Deathstroke, not Deadpool. Deathstroke. I read a couple of those comic books. I really think it's really good right now. And Secret Six, which is a title that I liked back before the New 52, and they're New 52ing it. So I'm gonna check that out and do a review on those a little later. But yeah, no real new comic book news right now.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us, and Dan for joining us. You can check Mike out at youtube.com/MickGTV. It's right there on the bottom of his screen. If you didn't know already, we are officially on iTunes. All you have to do is go to iTunes Store, search Geek News, or you can check us out on Podomatic.com, Geek News. For all your gaming needs, if you're local to Columbus, check out GoGameIsland.com. They are located in the Polaris Fashion Mall. Me and Philip will have a review of 12 Monkeys Episode 2 up sometime this week. Max and I will be doing some kind of a Star Wars review for the animated series with Philip. And I think that's it. We have a Man of Steel review coming to you this weekend. So for all of us, have a great night.